ways that's in radians. Okay, so this is number 8 and 9 on in your notes. Number 8, the point that is given is 4 comma 2 pi over 3. That's your polar point. Oh, for some dumb reason it's not recognized by MY. Sorry. Sometimes it takes a little bit of second here, and sometimes it doesn't recognize it. I don't know why. We should be up and running just in a second here. But we're going to do the polar point 4 comma 2 pi over 3. And I should have, there we go. We're up and running now. So, first of all, I'm going to go ahead and find where that point is, 4, 2 pi over 3. So remember, this is your radius in polar, and this is your theta, your angle. So the radius is 4. So I come out to the fourth circle, 1, 2, 3, 4. I come out to this circle here, and I know that the point is going to be on this circle somewhere, okay? So the point is on that circle. And then I just have to go to the angle 2 pi over 3. So I find 2 pi over 3, which is right here. And where those two meet, there's the point. So there's my point. 4, 2 pi over 3. So 8 is done. Let's work at 9. So 9 says now go ahead and label 4 and 2 pi over 3 different ways. Well, I can keep the 4 the same. So in other words, it's still on the fourth circle. Always going to be on the fourth circle, but with it being positive, I come out this way 4. Instead of coming this direction, 2 pi over 3, I could actually get to that same point by coming clockwise, which is a negative angle. And how many angles and what angles do I go there? Well, you could think of it a couple different ways. You could count by pi's over 3. Since we're at a 2 pi over 3, it will be a pi over 3. So if I come this way, here's 1 pi over 3 negative. Here's a negative 2 pi over 3. Here's a negative 3 pi over 3, which makes this negative 4 pi over 3. So this is the same thing as negative 4 pi over 3. You could, of course, so that's a negative 4 pi over 3. You could, if you want, if you're struggling with knowing exactly how to find that negative 4 pi over 3, this is a coterminal angle, right? Negative 4 pi over 3 is a coterminal angle. So we could actually take 2 pi over 3, I'm writing down here, sorry. We could actually take 2 pi over 3 and subtract a full circle, 2 pi. So we're 2 pi over 3, and we could subtract, so it means we come all the way this way, a full circle of 2 pi. Getting common denominators now, I'd multiply by 3, multiply by 3, which would give me 2 pi. That's going to lead us to 2 pi over 3 minus 2 pi times 3 is 6 pi over 3. And 2 pi over 3 minus 6 pi over 3 is the same thing as negative 4 pi over 3. So if you struggle with kind of counting it out, saying, oh, well, here's negative 1 pi over 3, negative 2 pi over 3, negative 3 pi over 3, negative 4 pi over 3, you could use coterminal angle ideas that we've talked about earlier, and you could just take 2 pi over 3 and subtract 2 pi, which gives you negative 4 pi over 3, and that's what we have right there, negative 4 pi over 3. Okay, so there's another way to name that angle. Now, instead of having a positive radius, that radius could be negative. It's kind of weird to think of a negative radius. All it really means that instead of coming out this way 4, it would have shot me back this way 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's this point right here, which means I need to get to this point. Because if I get to this point, either around the circle this way, if I get to that point, then with the negative 4 radius, it'll shoot me back across the circle in the opposite direction. So it'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and put me right where I want to be. So that angle that I need to get to is 5 pi over 3. So it's negative 4, 5 pi over 3. So that means if I come to my circle, 5 pi over 3, I come out here 5 pi over 3, then the negative 4 says instead of coming out this way 4, I'm actually going to go in the other direction, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it puts me right there where I want to be, and we're sitting good. So now we can also do another negative 4 radius and then come up with this angle here. instead of coming all the way around the circle this way, we could go negative a certain amount. Well, that happens to be a negative pi over 3. And again, if it's kind of confusing you, like, how do I know that was negative pi over 3? Well, it is on a pi over 3, so how many pi's over 3 did I go to get here? Only one, so negative pi over 3. Or, again, we could take 5 pi over 3. I'll do it right here. We could take 5 pi over 3. We could subtract 2 pi, which would be finding a coterminal angle. Put that over 1, get a common denominator, which in this case would be 3. So we get 5 pi over 3 minus 6 pi over 3. And that's going to yield negative pi over 3, which is our angle right there. Okay, there's your 4 ways. I hope that helped. I'm going to do one more video on this section, and so look for it. Have a great day, guys. See ya.